Well. Good afternoon, West Ham fans. Rush to the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. Do we have any money for January? Let's talk about it.
They'll lynch you, but he did, and he laughs at
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Rush to the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. If you're ready, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Now, listen, between you and me, all right? Make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the bell notification. Make sure you've done it before Saturday, okay? And Sunday. We've got you covered on Saturday and Sunday on the West Ham Network. A two-part special, a two-part exclusive interview. I do not want you to miss it. It was brilliant. It's probably my most favorite interview I've ever done. And we've had over 100 ex-players in the channel, lots of celebrity fans as well, but I think it is my favorite interview I've ever done. We talk about everything. We talk about literally everything to do with West Ham. And this person's career as well. So please make sure you check it out. So the only way you can do it is down there, check the subscribe button. If it's red, you're not subscribed. So hit it, it goes grey, and then you got the bell, click it, and you have options, go all. And then when we'll bring out loads of stuff, you won't miss it on Saturday, Sunday. Tonight, also, we have Have Your West Ham View boys doing their live show. So we're talking about all the West Ham games, internationals, and that stuff like that. You know, it's a family affair, two brothers, and maybe the sister might turn up as well today. So there we go. And then tomorrow we have the live show, lunchtime live, and then we'll have probably Irish Tommy, maybe late show, and then Saturday, as I said, part one of the two-part interview. Check it out, please. Anyway, so we've been talking about a lot of and Hammers Headlines. Actually, tonight we've got a few rumours, a bit silly, I think silly rumours to be honest, but we speak about them, and there's been a drip feed of players we've been linked with for moves, particularly in January. Yesterday, I spoke about Kareem the Dream from Galatasaray. We've spoken quite regularly about Piero Hincapié from Bayer Leverkusen, the left back, but also can play left centre half as well. And various others have already sort of, in terms of started warming up his jet. We talked about Guirassy, the Stuttgart striker as well. But according to an article written by Claret and Hugh, West Ham are looking more likely to enter the loan market rather than making more permanent signings in January. Obviously, we spent the Declan Rice money plus probably Declan Rice plus Skamaka money in the summer. And recruited very well. The likes of, Mavropanos. We signed Kudus, we signed JWP, and we signed Alvarez as well. So, plus Sean Morgan from Cliftonville, people forget as well. I think he'd be he's already playing very well for the Academy Plate team already. But for me, it's really quite interesting to see that we are looking to read that we're looking into the loan market. Now, we spoke about yesterday about Kareem maybe coming in, and maybe someone like Fornals, whose contract runs out in the summer. We offered him a new deal. We didn't necessarily want it. We'll talk about contracts and stuff in Hammers Headlines later on. But it seemed that, maybe we could get some money for him, and that would add to the coffers to make some signings. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, in terms of January. And according to Claret and Hugh, whether we're out of cash for the winter window, maybe. We clearly need, in my eyes, a left back. Given the fact that Cresswell is the end of his worthwhileness, so to speak, and we clearly need a striker, given Mikel Antonio's age. Now, whether we can hold on to Antonio and go with not adding to that area in January and maybe revisiting in the summer, possibly. But this seems, at the moment, it seems to be, and again, I appreciate we're only like half a dozen, 7 or so games into the season, but with the more what's the word? I don't want to say easier, but with the more favourable fixtures coming up between now and the next month and a half for sure, at least, we could be in a position come January that we've been in before, where we are just knocking at the door to get into the Champions League party. Just knocking it, just hit the ring doorbell a little bit and then run away. And we've had situations before where we haven't pushed on and, in essence, missed out on Champions League football twice. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get in the Champions League, but we could have had a go. We could have had a go in Moyes' second, in the fifth season. We finished fifth. Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. In the 2 seasons, we didn't really push on. Not last season, but the previous 2 seasons, where we had an opportunity to invest properly in January. Now, we've got what's different between now and then and now is Tim Steidten. We've got someone who, he's not going. The fact is, if he's looking and he's looking at the players that we can bring in, he knows how much money we've got available. He's just not doing it on a whim. He's not, he's not going all these places. But I think there's definitely a stick in the ground come this January transfer window. I truly believe this January transfer window will be different to probably most of our January transfer windows, where there does seem to be a process in place. There does seem to be something, a way of doing stuff rather than blind panic, which has happened before. If you look at our signings, maybe our summer signings compared to our January transfer signings, the January transfer signings, in a majority sense, did seem to be quite panicked by it. The thing is, Danny Ings on paper great, but, never was going to fit into our system. Never was going to fit into our system. Now, we've seen, as I said, the likes of, been linked with several players. And at the moment, we are competing on 4 fronts, really. Obviously, the FA Cup has yet to start, but that'll be the turn of next year. But at the moment, obviously, we take on Arsenal's. We could still be in not 4 competitions, but we're not going to win the Premier League. But we, what I mean is, like, we'll still be competing on 4 fronts. So, although it isn't impossible that Moyes could be moving in the loan market, I just think there is some money there somewhere. Kudryavtsky is just about to sell. It has just sold back his stake in Le Monde to the French billionaire Javert or something like that. It's a great name. So that there could be money available, but also I think that we have to be clever with our existing squad. Now, obviously, the fly in the ointment being AFCON as well. So, in terms of the players we probably would move on would be people who, well, 2 of them particularly. I think Benrahma would be probably moved on, in all honesty, and Cornet potentially. Whether sides will buy them is another thing, and obviously they'll be in the Ivory Coast during the AFCON. So I can't see much movement, but I can see movement with potentially, Antonio has been looking, and although he's just signed a new deal, although that wasn't been officially announced, same as the Tommy Souček thing. Apparently, there was yesterday, Tommy Souček was linked with a move to Inter Milan, which is apparently all bollocks as well. And, it's, and Jarrod Bowen, obviously, basically signing his future to West Ham, his career to West Ham on a 7-year deal. We're trying to look at Paqueta as well in terms of his contract. Again, I'll talk to you about that in Hammer's headlines. There does seem to be, looking around the squad, someone like a Gerd could be potentially a sellable asset if it means we have to bring in money. But I just think we've got a bit in the coffers. I think we've got a bit there. But it's how it's invested. And at least it's not going to be wasted with someone like Steindl at the helm. You look at the players we've bought, how we've bought someone like Alvarez for £30 million. He's a 50, 60 million pound player already, easy. JWP, yeah, that's probably the going rate for him, to be honest. Kudus, I think, if he has a decent season under, you could double your money on Kudus, pretty much straight away. Mavropanos as well. I mean, we got from an absolute bargain. You know, when he'll start proving his worth, and again, double, tripling his money, his value as well. So I just think, you know, we just have to. We're going to get lots of conflicting reports, I think, coming out in the next couple of weeks about the money we have available. I think we will have money available. The fact that we're hearing from inside the club that Steinton's out, he's looking at players not just abroad, but he's looking at, you know, young English players as well. The Wigan lad we were looking at, we were linked with the Sunderland, Bannard, the centre half as well. So it does seem, you know, we're looking everywhere, which is fantastic. We're not sort of fixated on one league. We're looking everywhere, which is brilliant. And I just think we're going to get these lots of conflicting reports. I just think there's a bit of money there. And that's a hunch. There's no ITK news or anything like that at all. Just a hunch. There's a little bit of money, and we could just do something. We could just do something. But let me know what you think. Who would you, if you realistically, who would be your January transfer targets? For me, I think someone like Hincapié would be a phenomenal target to bring in. I mean, not money's no object, but you know, the two Bundesliga guys, Hincapié and Sirigu Guirassy, I think those two would be phenomenal for us. But there's so many other players. You know, you've got the likes of, you know, I mean, Fofana. You said Fofana's, you know, we were all about him, and then it's all gone quiet about him. You know, I think that left back needs more. For me, left back and forward are the two areas which need, because Emerson's been great and he's, you know, arguably one of our top performers this season. But you know, all it takes is an injury to him, and we're very, very short on that left hand side. Same, I mean, midfield, we've got it covered. We've got plenty of options there. The right side, you've got sort of two. You can play Kudus on the right, and you can play Bowen on the right. Up front, you can move players around. Right back, you can move players around. But that left back, you know, it's either Cresswell in terms of out and out, you know, left backs, Cresswell and Emerson. One of the, if Emerson gets a knock, then I don't rate Cresswell going in, so much so that, you know, they'll put Tilo Kehrer there or something. So left back is an area we need. Yes, we've got Ollie Scars to bring in, but he's 18. Wouldn't want to give him so much pressure so early on in his career. But let me know what you think. I think those are the two areas we definitely need to develop on. And then in the summer, maybe look at the right back position. Maybe get someone like Frimpong in from Leverkusen would be an excellent signing. But anyway, just little brain dump, really, for a daily show. But take care. Keep an eye on Hammers Headlines. And keep an eye out for this weekend as well, please. Take care. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay humble. Keep the faith. Come new irons. And I'll see you very, very soon. Irons. Irons. Irons.